There's good news and there's bad news. The good news, the summer is coming and solar panel prices are falling fast. The bad news, our energy future isn't getting easier. Let me show you a practical way to take control. Hello, I'm Norbert, energy engineer, and in this video I explain for developed countries how to create solar freedom and to solve a couple of problems of today. And if you are in a developing country, I've got another version of this same video just for you. Check it out. In the past, grid electricity was stable and cheap. And now we have wars, we have extreme weather and unstable supply chains. Even here in developed countries, the grid is tightening and becoming unstable. And why? Because we, in the domestic sector, at home, we are shifting from fuel to electricity. And that's for heating and cooling homes. So, for example, heat pump and the air conditioner, which is also a heat pump, of course. And also for transport. Most of all, the electric cars, but also a little bit the bicycles. Moreover, there's today an increasing amount of variable input, non-programmable input, like solar or wind power. Yes, also from us, because many of us have on our rooftop a solar system. And here I have some systems which usually are not on a rooftop. This is agriculture solar. You see here that it is semi-transparent. Here you have the solar wafers, and here in between you have just where the sun can go through and giving light for plants which are underneath. And here you have a flexible solar panel which is very light, so it's very easy to install also on lightly curved surfaces. Okay, this double shift, from one side the demand and from the other side the production, between the homes and the grid means that the energy supplier is in a squeeze. And they will squeeze back. Yes, you and me. Many of you have already PV panels on the roof. But what are you getting for your fed-in electricity? And what are you paying if you purchase it back? Well, they take it from you for usually less than 10 cents. Grid operators nowadays are not eager to pay much or to help you store your own energy. And that's why self-consumption is now more important than ever. In this way, you will avoid sell electricity to the grid and then later you have to repurchase it. A great way to increase this self-consumption is to store it. For example, here I have a PPS, portable power supply, and you can think of it as a silent, battery-based backup for your house or mobile home. You can use it to store your excess PV power, even if this box is a little bit small for that. But also, if you have access to a grid, but it's not reliable, then you can charge this box when the grid is working, so that you can have energy also during a blackout. Or you can also take it to a camping or a recreational vehicle. But here's the best part, you can build it yourself. Here's my alternative system, made with components. It starts of course with these solar panels, this one or that one. And then you have the solar charger, and it takes the current from the solar panel, this input, and then it goes to the battery, to these two wires here. Then goes to the battery, a small one, very small one, or this one. Just wait a minute, it's a little bit big. Okay, there it is. It's not a very big one. And then it goes there to the battery. And then the solar charger is worth your special attention. It not only regulates the power flow from the solar panel to the battery, it also provides an output, and that goes here. And you see this socket, you can put those typical devices which you bring to the car. And you know also that today there are many household devices that work on 12 volt, and they are very popular with truck drivers, but also people who are living off grid. And they all work on 12 volt, in some cases also 24. But this device is easily programmable for both of them, so one device, two voltages, but not at the same time, of course. And the nice thing is that this not only regulates the power flow from the panel to the battery, but also from the battery to your users, so that it will never deplete the battery, because that's not good for a battery. And finally, it has two USB ports for charging your telephone. And if you really need a grid voltage, well, then you can always take an inverter of the right size. I have this small one. I bought it at Amazon, but you can also find it at AliExpress. It's very affordable. And next week will come another which is still bigger. It's 1100 watt. For example, heat pump, a mobile air conditioner, or a traditional refrigerator. It doesn't cost also so much, but okay, it's 1100 watt, and that will be nearly 100 ampere from that battery there. A little bit too much for this one. I will also get next week a self-learning battery monitor that after a number of cycles can understand the characteristics of your battery and then start to indicate the real state of charge. And I will make, of course, a review of it.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Why is this DIY version so convenient? You choose what it can do and how much. So you can define the solar input, you can define the battery size, the AC power with a big or a small inverter, or just go for 12 volt, and you have also the USB. And also very interesting is that you have more electricity for your investment money if you buy these solar panels separately at an interesting price, instead of the ones which can compete with the installer. For example, if you are in do-it-yourself markets or online, you just buy the panel itself and then it costs less. So where to find the parts? You find them on online stores and also DIY supermarkets. You can find many useful domestic devices that work on 12 volts in car supply shops and camping stores or recreational vehicle stores, so that you will avoid altogether to buy an inverter. Let's now listen to a conversation that I had with a do-it-yourselfer in the United States.
Come on, this is too complicated. I'm no electrician. I don't want to blow up my house.
I hear you, but here's the thing. You don't need to build something from scratch or to literally mimic this box. You can start with a ready-made inverter and a battery. Plug in some PV modules into a solar charger, which is directly compatible with the battery, and you are already there, because this has many functions, so you don't have to realize them anymore. And then you have already an energy generator and a storage and a regulator for the storage. And there is also a consuming controlling device. So in fact you have everything.
But won't that void my warranty or break some rules?
If you don't connect it to the house wiring, then you are fine. Just keep it standalone, like a big power bank. Totally legal, totally safe, if you follow some basics, which I will show you in the future videos.
Okay. What if I mess up?
Well, this channel is here to guide you. No complicated theory, just real examples, from one DIY to another. And if you have doubts, do your research or come here. If you recognize yourself in this conversation, then like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and relatives. Let's get control over our own energy situation. I'll show you in the future videos how to size your do-it-yourself power station, how to connect the PV modules, how to manage charging and usage, and how to do it all safely. You get flexibility, a backup security, more power from your own PV, without selling energy for a few cents and then purchasing it back at, for example, 35 cents, and therefore a better use of your investment money, because you will spend less for this DIY PPS. Hey, and by the way, I have another video like this one, aimed at our DIY friends in the developing countries. While developed countries fight for more security of supply in a context of overloaded grids and want a better utilization factor of their own PV systems, in the poorer countries, the citizens must create an alternative to a grid that doesn't exist there, or they have to guarantee the security of supply if the grid is not reliable. So if you are living in a developing countries, then you should definitely see that video too. The future isn't stable, but your own energy system can be. Stick with me, I will help you to build it. And if you like the idea, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and relatives and everyone that you know they need it. I wish you good energy.